I'm Nomuka, and I'm here with Bertrand, a fellow engineering technologist, and we welcome you to PowerEdge Soundbites, a series focused on breakthrough innovations in IT infrastructure and powered servers. Today, we'll be discussing what's new in the latest generation of Dell PowerEdge servers, the 15th generation. So let's get started with an obvious question. Bertrand, can you tell us about the great new features in 15G compared to its predecessor 14G?
For sure, Nomuka. So in April 2021, Intel released their latest generation of Xeon Scalable processor called Ice Lake. Ice Lake came with significant performance over the previous generation called Cascade Lake, in particular around three areas. The maximum core count has been increased from 28 cores to 40 cores per processor. The number of memory lane was increased from 6 memory lane per processor to 8 memory lane per processor, which has a significant impact for large memory configuration because we can have more DIMMs behind the processor. And finally, one of the biggest performance improvement in my mind is the fact that the PCI lane have been increased from 48 lane to 60 lane. One of the issue with Cascade Lake really is from a PCI bus perspective, we had some oversubscription happening. And that meant that for technologies such as NVMe or video cards, we couldn't leverage the full bandwidth of the PCI buses. The increase from 48 lane to 60 lane now gives us full bandwidth for all of those high performance workloads that are able to leverage the capabilities of NVMe and of GPU cards.
Nice. All of these innovations will surely enable customers to maximize performance without overloading components or running into shortages, as you mentioned. So even though 15G has these new and innovative features, I imagine a lot of them have been carried over from 14G. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so when we look at the bump from 14G to 15G, it wasn't a significant architectural change. So what that means is that a lot of the hardware is the same. So we've got same memory DIMMs, we've got same network card, we've got same drive and same video cards. But in my mind, at least, more importantly, what we've done is that we've really kept the same management and monitoring framework made of Open Managed Enterprise and the integrated Dell Remote Access Controller, also known as iDRAC. Having kept those and being able to manage both generations simultaneously with the same tools really means that we have a lower cost of change and a lower barrier of entry into the 15th generation.
Yes, iDRAC and Open Managed Enterprise are cornerstones of the powered portfolio, and we will definitely do a deeper dive into them in subsequent episodes of Soundbites. Regarding the hardware itself, though, outside of what you just mentioned, what are some innovations that have impacted into 15G?
Most of the innovation that we've done in 15G are really driven by one specific aspect of Ice Lake, and that's the fact that it is a power-hungry processor. Ice Lake compared to Cascade Lake sometimes can use as much as 80% more power than Cascade Lake, and that creates two issues. The first one is heat, and the second one is density. If we extrapolate that 80% and put that in the context of a full rack, customers could potentially expect an additional 7,000 watts of power into that rack. And so one of the ways that we're mitigating this is by ensuring that we have as little wastage as possible. And so the PSUs, the power supplies in our 15G are 92% efficient, which means that 92% of the power is going to the box. The other one is heat, because all of that power gets converted into heat. And so what that means is that a lot of the innovation is around optimized cooling with our multi-vector cooling as well as our direct liquid cooling. If you go on our website, and I'll put a link, we have a blog post on what those are and how those affect our customer and how they allow this PowerEdge 15G to run as cool as possible.
Wow, that's really great to hear. Power consumption is a huge and growing concern, not only technologically, but environmentally and ethically. So it's really amazing to see a vendor noticing this and taking steps to invest more into efficient power and thermal management. Is there anything else you want to cover today?
We've already covered a fair bit, to be honest, and we want to stick to our time slot. But we will have other episodes of Soundbites where we're going to cover containers, we're going to cover sustainability, which you mentioned, we're going to cover manageability and cover also the overall portfolio, because there's a ton to talk about.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Bertrand, for offering your expertise on today's episode and for giving a teaser of what's to come next. And thank you for checking out our channel. To stay tuned for more videos, subscribe and follow us to see our next soundbite.